All right, boys and girls, today's video is on the ACT Math, really the December test just a few months ago, the December 2022 F07 form. A lot of my students didn't do so hot on this test, so I thought I would give it a try. This is obviously my first time taking this test or even looking at this test. It just came out this morning. So without further ado, let's take a look at this test. I'm going to zip through it as fast as I can while still explaining it. This first question says, what does his pay for this week? Well, wait a second. It looks like he was paid 40 hours, $13.50, and then he was paid twice his regular wage past the first 40 hours, really to 48 hours. So I'm going to do 8 times 13.5 times 2 plus 40 times 13.5. If this were my actual ACT, I probably wouldn't write that down, but let's try that now. We have 8 times 13.5 times 2, and then plus 40 times 13.5. It's a little awkward to record this with the big camera thing in front of me, but the answer is C. I'm getting 756. I'm going to keep zipping. This is just number 1. This one says, what is the slope of this equation? Well, it's 1/2. It's just the number in front of the x after I FOIL this out. Easy enough. Let's keep going. Sorry if you didn't see that question. That's number 2. Let's continue on. Let's come over here for this one. This is number 3. It says, what is the average of the first test? What score must Sophia earn on the 5th math test to average 3 points higher than the average of her first 4 tests? Well, yeah, let's find the average of her first 4 tests. It's 85 plus 86 plus 87 plus 82 divided by 4. I'm getting 85. 85 is the average of her first 4 tests. Well, it looks like she wants an average of an 88. Well, this is my slot method for averages. If she wanted 3 points higher, if she wanted to end up with an average 3 points higher, then she has to be able to bump up all of these points. So this is 85, this is 85, this is 85, this is 85. This was the average of her 4 tests. And if she wants to bump it up 3 points, she has to bump up every single one up by 3 points. So this, she had to get an 88 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Well, wait a second. This is 12 points. 12 and 88 that she has to score already. It's E. 88 plus 100 is my math. Or sorry, 88 plus 12 is 100. I'm trying to go fast. This is now number 4. Number 4 says, what is the value? Well, I know that these two together have to add up to 180, and that should make sense because this angle right here fits perfectly right there, kind of like corresponding or alternate interior angles. In other words, if that's 28, then this must be 152, 180 minus 28. Let's keep going. That was number 4. Come over with me to number 5. This is asking for Pythagorean theorem, really the third side of a triangle. It's 3 squared plus 8 squared square rooted. This is 9 plus 64 square rooted. I'm getting C. This one says, using only step 1 followed by step 2 below, Amir solved a linear equation. Subtract 16 from both sides of the equation, and then multiply both sides resulting equation by 5. Okay, so Amir, once he solved it, which equation did he solve? Well, first, because he subtracted 16, it probably should have been add 16. In other words, for me to solve h, I'm going to do minus 16, which is what Amir also did. And then from there it says multiply both sides by 5. Well, yeah, it has to be h because in order to get rid of 1/5, I actually do need to multiply by 5. Multiply by 5. The answer is H. Number 7. A lot of text here, but it says, what is the probability that the selected student will be a boy? Well, first class was 10 out of 25. Second class is 9 and 17, so 9 out of 26. And then the third class is 11, 12. 11 out of 23. All the kindergarten students at Cannon Elementary are gathered in the gym. Wow, they're all gathered in the gym. What's the probability of choosing a boy? Well, that's just 10 plus 9 plus 11 all over 25 plus 26 plus 23. In that case, let's try that together on my calculator. We have 10 plus 9 plus 11 all over 25 plus 26 plus 23. And I'm getting the answer of C. Cool. Jamal. Let's see what Jamal did. It says, the total of all his payments, including the down payment, was how much more than the car's purchase? If you notice, I'm always starting with reading the question, and I'm also, without telling you guys, glancing at the answer choices to know what kind of question I'm dealing with. So this is just a money problem, maybe some taxes or something, some kind of percent, but let's try. It said, Jamal purchased a car that had a purchase price of $6,400. He paid $1,500 as a down payment and got a loan for the rest of the purchase. So first of all, subtracting this is going to be $4,900. Jamal paid off the loan by making 36 payments of $200 each. So 36 times 200. In my calculator, I get 7,200. I guess we didn't need a calculator there. The total of his payments, including the down payment, was how much more than the car's purchase price? Well, I know this purchase price was $6,400. He also paid the $1,500 down payment, so watch this. He paid this, he paid this. So really together that makes how much? That makes $8,700. And $8,700 is pretty cool, but how much more is that than the original $6,400? That's $2,300 extra. And that's the opportunity cost of money. Essentially, I know that this together, he must have paid more than the value of the car because he took out a loan. That's just how loans work. Loans are kind of predatory in that way. Let's keep going. Come down here for number 9. It says, what is the solution of the equation? Wow, this is just pure math, right? This is just distribute. Now, the big thing here is that most students are going to forget to distribute that negative, so be really careful there. So this is 8x plus 16 equals 4x minus 2x plus 6. And from here, I'm just about done. This is 8x plus 10 equals 2x. Subtracting or solving whatever way you want. This is 6x equals negative 10. X equals negative 10 over 6, better known as negative 5 over 3. I'm getting A. Let's keep going. This one. Again, pure math, just an exponent question. This 3 is hitting both here. So this is 8x cubed times 9x squared, at which point 8 times 9 is 72. And these, of course, add. Let's keep going. Number 11. Number 11 says just pure math, again, just simplifying common terms. Wow, the same exact question as before. We're just going to distribute that. So we have 3a minus 8b plus 20a plus 21a plus 14b. And now just combine like terms. Essentially, you should see that this, and this will all combine. And then, of course, this and this will combine. So let's do that math now. 3a plus 20a plus 21 will be 44a. Just glancing at the answer choices. This and this will be 6. Done. What about question 12? Question 12 says, a square, what is the length in centimeters of one side of the square? So what is the length of one side of the square? Well, that's really easy because if they both have the same area and the length of the rectangle is 45 and the width of the rectangle is 5, well, the area is length times width, so 5 times 45. So I'm not going to do that in my head, but 5 times 45 in my calculator is 225. And now, if that's also the area of this square, well, what's significant about a square? A square has the same sides. Really, this is length and length. Really, length squared equals 225. So square rooting this, I know that that's 15. What is one side of the square? It's 15. Here's number 13. It wants the ratio of ABEF to the ratio of the whole ACDG. Interesting. Well, there are a few ways to go about this. Interesting. Okay, so this is a square. So I'm having to read a little bit, but this is a square, so this is 3 by 3. So I know that the formulas here are, this is, of course, length times width. So this is 9, 2. Now, what's the area of a parallelogram? You guys might not remember this or know this, but it's this times the height. Really, even this side here. So this is 8 by 3. 8 by 3 is 24. And at that point, what is the ratio? 9 to 24. Dividing both sides by 3, really simplifying it, we get 3 to 8. See? Cool. Let's keep on going. This is now number 14. It says a 2-liter bottle of Fizzo contains approximately 67.6 ounces of soda. An 8-ounce serving of Fizzo has 110 calories. Which of the following is closest to the number of calories in a 2-liter bottle of Fizzo? So this is just a unit conversion question. First of all, I don't know the conversion off the top of my head. A 2-liter bottle contains approximately 67.6 ounces. Interesting. So this is going to be 67.6 divided by 8 times 110. Cool. What is the smallest integer greater than root 77? Well, what is root 77? Root 77 is 8.77. So what's the smallest integer greater than that? What's bigger than 8.77? It's 9. What about this one? It says a wheelchair ramp will be constructed for a public. So what does a ramp look like? I think the question's asking about a right triangle. The ramp will extend 20 inches horizontally for every 1 inch rise vertically. So really, this is a ratio of 20 to 1. The rise of the ramp will be 30 inches. Wow. The rise will be 30 inches. Thus, this side will be 600 inches. I do see a conversion here. They want feet, not inches. So you want to be really, really careful here. In which case, what will we have? We will have, in which of the following? So what I'd probably do is just divide 600 by 12. So I have 600 divided by 12. I'm getting 50. I didn't even need my calculator. That's it. The ramp is going to be really, really long horizontally, and that makes sense because it's a ramp. It has to slowly incline, or else you're going to have people in wheelchairs flying off, right? You don't want that. Let's keep going. This is now number 17. It says, Padma's teacher asked her students to subtract 3 from a certain number and then divide the result by 9. Instead, Padma subtracted 9 and divided by 3, getting an answer of 43. What would her answer have been if she worked the problem as her teacher asked? Yuck. She subtracted 9 and then divided by 3, getting 43. So equals 43. And she subtracted. So this is plus 9. Dividing her result by 3. Dividing her result by 3. So this is 3x. So subtract 9, subtract 9. This is 3x equals 52, and then divide both sides by 3. 52 divided by 3. I don't like this. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's try again. I'm getting a weird number. It says Padma's teacher asked her to subtract 3 from a certain number and then divide the result by 9. Instead, Padma subtracted 9 and divided her result by 3. And her answer was 43. Subtracted by 9 and divided her result by 3. Okay, I think I'm starting to understand. So she had a number, and she subtracted it by 9 and divided it by 3. Okay, that's better. So in order to find the original number, let's multiply both sides by 3. So 43 times 3, and then add 9. I'm getting x equals 138. And I feel better about that because you can see that in the answer choices. But that's not my answer. That's just the original number. Now, I want to go back and do it correctly. So it says, Padma's teacher asked her to subtract 3 from a certain number. So let's do that. 138 minus 3, and then divide that by 9. Minus 3 divided by 9. In my calculator, I'm getting 15. The answer here is A. I stumbled there for a second, but I persevered. No worries there. Let's keep going. Here's number 18. This one says, on the local car dealer's lot, there are only 26 cars with a sunroof and only 18 cars with cruise control. The number of cruise controls on the lot with both sunroof and cruise control, both? Well, that's a Venn diagram. Really, I'll draw a quick Venn diagram. This is sunroof and this is cruise control. In which case, you should understand that the number of cars on the lot with both must be interesting. There are only 26 cars with, and only 18 cars with cruise control. So this whole portion is 26, and this whole portion is 18. The number of cars on the lot with both must be, I'm leaning towards 8. But it's kind of tricky. On the car, there are only 26 cars with a sunroof. And only 18 cars. Yeah, I mean, we don't know this. We don't know that it has to be at least 8. No more than 18. The number of cars, yeah, I mean, it can't be more than 18. If there are only 18 cruise control cars, how could there be more than 18? Again, how could there be more than 18 with both if only 18 even have cruise control? Wow, this question's really slippery for an 18. This is not easy. It's K, because first of all, it says must be, right? Let's keep flying. This is number 19. It says, Hannah making in this setup. So this is definitely a quadratic equation question. Confident. Okay, so it sounds like she made a mistake. Yeah, she should have used -8 here instead of +8. She should have used -8. Yep, okay. Let's keep going. Every 10 minutes, Channel 7 begins a 60-second long commercial. Every 12 minutes. Okay, so this is the least common multiple question. Really, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 versus 0, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. And you should already get the idea that, yeah, when will they have, how many minutes will it last before they both have the same commercial at the same time? It's going to be an hour. Really, what does 10, or really what's the least common multiple of 10 and 12? Where do 10 and 12 meet? At 60. Let's keep flying. This is now number 21. This one says, when Professor Soto began his trip to a mathematics conference, he noticed that the 2 digits recorded the temperature had a sum of 8. Interesting. Later, he noticed that the 2 digits were reversed and that warmed 18. What was the beginning? Well, interesting. What was the temperature in the beginning? Well, yeah, they have to add up to 8, so it has to be 1 and 7, 2 and 6, 3 and 5, or yada yada. Now, this is a really interesting question, but when I reverse them, when I do reverse them, this is 71, this is 62, this is 53, the answer is C. Why? Well, 3 and 5 added 18 gets you 53. No other combination looks like it's going to get you up 18 degrees. Let's keep going. This is 22. This is just f of g of x. You plug this into g, plug that into f. So let's do it. Plug -3 in here. So you have -3 squared minus minus 2. So 9 minus 2 is 7. Then take that and plug that in here. 7 times 4 plus 1 is 29. All right, boys and girls, here is number 23. What's going on? Well, this is 4, 9. So where is that? 4, 9 is right here. And it wants us to reflect across the y-axis. Well, if the y-axis is here, I'm reflecting across this. So where will that fall? That will fall right here at -4, 9. Again, -4, 9. I'm choosing answer choice C. Sweet, let's move on. I'm trying to speed up a little bit because I'm behind on time, perhaps. Let's keep looking. It says, for every odd integer, the expression this results in, well, I don't know. Let's try it. 3 squared plus 3. That's 9 plus 3 is 12. Let's just try one more. 5 squared plus 5. That's 25 plus 5 is 30. It looks like it's always going to be an even integer. Let's keep going. What about 25? What is the least positive number that has a remainder of 5 when divided by 7? Well, let's try it. Let's just try C. 33 divided by 7. But no, this is actually using long division. So remainders. We're talking about remainders. Divided by 7. So 7 goes into 33 4 times with a remainder of 5. Remember, 28, right? Okay. Well, what about when I divide C by 5? Oh, 33 divided by 5. Oh, I will have a remainder of 3. It's C. If you have any questions on any of the questions as I go, please comment down below. But if not, I'm going to keep zipping. It says, assuming an average cost of 30 cents per linear foot requiring baseboard, how much will it cost Naomi to purchase baseboard for her room? Well, the floor has 15 by 20 and 2 doorways, 3 feet wide, do not require baseboard. The 2 doorways in her room, doorways. Oh, okay, so she doesn't need this. There are 2 of them. Interesting. So, 15 by 20. Well, if it's 15 by 20, it's not really, because we have to take 3 feet away here. I need to read this one more time because it's kind of tricky. The 2 doorways in her room. Where are the doors? That's my question. Should I take it away from the length or should I take it away from the width? Maybe it doesn't matter. Really, we have 15 times taking away 2 doorways. So this is going to be dropped to 16. I actually don't like this because this is dealing with perimeter. We're talking about area. It says per linear foot. Oh, baseboard is just around. Interesting. So 15 plus, oh, we're talking about perimeter. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. In other words, yeah, I have 15 by 15, 20 by 20, but take away essentially 6. So we have, this is 15 plus 15, which is 30, plus 40, which is 70. 70 minus 6 is 64. And at this point, I have 64 times 0.3. So let's do that. 64 times 0.3, I'm getting 19.2. It's G. Let's keep going. Chow flies directly from New York to San Francisco. New York City's time is 3 hours later than San Francisco's time. Chow left New York at 7:30 a.m. and landed in San Francisco at 11:12 a.m. Wow, this is literally just checking, can this kid do time zones? Wow, it's almost disrespectful. Really, if this is 7:30 in New York, understand that this was really 4:30 a.m. in San Fran. Again, New York is 3 hours ahead. In which case, 4:30 to 11 is how many? it's 6 hours and 42 minutes. I think that sounds good. Let's keep going. Taking a look at this question, it's a passage, unfortunately. It says, which of the following values is equal to the expected number of cats that will not have a reaction? Well, 200, my eye caught on this percent right here, so times 0.8 really will not, so I'll do 0.2. So 200 times 0.2, probably don't need my calculator here, but it's 40. Coming down to number 29. Number 29 says sold 1,500 on its 7th month, 1,800 on its 8th month, so that's an addition of plus 50. I do see arithmetic sequence. So how much did they make on the 3rd month of operation? Well, if the 7th month is 1,500, then 6, 5, 4, 3, boom, 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 boom. This is 1,450, this is 1,400, this is 1,350, and this is 1,300. I'm happy to say that I think they sold 1,300 catnip balls, but how much are each catnip balls? Well, it looks like we're doing 1,300 times 7.5. So we have 7.5, 9,750. Boom. Let's take a look at number 30. It says, yikes. This is a factorial question. Gross. It says, next month at a pet food trade show, Pet Snacks will exhibit 1 box of each flavor in a line. I'm sorry, you couldn't see that. By that time, the company will have 3 added flavors, 3 extra flavors. How many additional orders will Pet Snacks be able to arrange? I understand what this is getting at. Really, this is the idea of slots. Again, probability. We have 3 and 4 different flavors for cats and dogs. So that's 7. So as of right now, this company has how many they could put in order? Really 7 factorial, because it's really, they have 7 different options. They could put 7 here, then 6 here, then 5 here, then 4 here, then 3 here, then 2 here, and then 1 here. But if they're going to have 3 additional flavors, that's going to be 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5. Oopsies, I can't count. 9, 8, 9, no. That's a 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Essentially, they're asking how many more or additional flavors will they have to line up? I think it's going to be G. Really, this amount minus this amount. All right, let's keep going. We are halfway there. Let's take a look at number 31. It says a tree farmer has exactly 3 kinds of trees on his farm: apple, cherry, and evergreen. Of these trees, 1/2 are apple, 1/3 are cherry, and 1/20 are evergreen. How many trees does he have on his farm? This is really nice. First of all, this is 1/2 and 1/3. How much is that together? Well, this is 3/6 plus 2/6, which is 5/6. Really leaving how much for the evergreen? 1/6. So if 1/6 of the total is equal to 120, multiply both sides by 6. 6 times 120 is E. Done. 32. This is median, so I'm going to do my slap method. Slap, oopsies, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. Between these is 86. Done. This is 33. It says a board is this by this by this. You want to cut it into as many pieces so that it's this by this by this. Each saw cut wastes this much. Well, if I have 6.5 feet, 6.5 times 12. So 6.5 times 12. Sorry, you can't see that. 6.5 times 12 is 78. But from there, I want 6-inch pieces. Now, the unfortunate part is, yeah, I want 6-inch pieces, so I could just divide that by 6. But no, it actually is 1/8. And 1/8 in decimal is 0.125. So that's what I'll do. I'll do this divided by 6.125. The answer is, how many pieces can you get? You'll get 12. You won't get 13, you'll get 12. Done. or in probability is add or addition. So what will I do? This plus this, so 1/4 plus 1/8. This is just 2/8, and it's 3/8, J. Wow. This is a radian conversion question, it appears, so I'm just going to do 7 divided by 9 times 180. Opa. 7 divided by 9 times 180. 140. Which of the following must be congruent to angle 1? Interesting. It says, wow, this is a weird one. I'm usually good at angle questions. As it's shown, A, B, C, D, so which of the following must be congruent? Well, I mean, it looks to me, honestly, just by my eyes, that 6 is the only one, but that's not an answer choice. Maybe. Let's read it. Let's be more careful. It says, as shown below, D is on the side CE of such that the measure of ADB is 90. Interesting. Interesting. Which of the following angles must be congruent to angle 1? Interesting. So this angle here and this angle here look the same, but must they be? If I have this angle here, and they are parallel, okay? So this angle and this angle are the same. So 3 and 6 are the same. In that case, yeah, I think I'm going to go with 3 and 6. And to be honest, I don't know exactly the geometrical significance outside of these two being the same. Again, these two being the same. It looks like alternate interior angles or whatever, but it looks right. It feels right. And that's really all it takes, especially for a number 36. So I trust it. I'm going to keep going. Let's go down here for number 37. This is area of a circle is this, so the radius must have been 8. In that case, 2 pi r would be 16. This is all on the same line, so what is the value of b? Sure. So what is the slope here? What is the equation of the line? So we have, it's going down 3 over 2. Again, down 3 over 2, that's my slope. And we have the equation y equals mx plus, x plus b. And it looks like this is one of our points, so why not just use that? We have this as 4 and this as 0. So we have 0 equals 4 times 2 is 2, so this is negative 6 plus b. b is equal to 6. At which point I can understand that we have our equation y is equal to negative 3 over 2x plus 6. And really, now we want to plug in 7 for x. We have negative 3 over 2 times 7 plus 6. I'm falling behind on time, so let's just do that in my calculator. We have negative 3 divided by 2 times 7 plus 6, and I'm getting negative 15 over 2. Yeesh, that's not an answer choice. That's not good. Did I put that in correctly? Oh no, I put it in my calculator incorrectly. Negative 3 divided by 2 times 7 plus 6. Math, enter, enter. Oh, better. All right, let's keep going. This is just adding fractions, so you need common denominators. So here I'll tack on an a and a. Here I'll tack a 3 and 3. In which case I have 3 plus 2a over 3a, and that should be my answer. I like D. So a jar contains 2 and 3, 2 mints out of the jar to eat. What is the probability that they are both green? Well, this is my slot method for probability questions. So in the first jar there were 5, and they want green, so this was 2. And then both, being green. So once you pick the first green mint, what's the chance it's another green mint? Well, now we only have one green mint left in the jar, and really 4. So 2 and this multiplied would become 1/10, I presume. It's F. Let's keep going. All right, so for this question, what's going on? First of all, it looks like a logarithm question, but without reading all too much, it looks like this 100 should be placed here, in which case we have 100 equals 10 log base 10 of I over 10 to the negative 12th. At which point we want to get the I alone. We want to solve for the I, in which case you should see that I divide both sides by 10. I have 10 equals log base 10 of I to the 10 negative 12, like that. And at this point, I will get rid of the log. How do we get rid of logarithms? We put 10 to the, 10 to the, 10 to the. I have a video on logarithms in case you don't understand that, but from there I have 10 to the 10th equals I over 10 to the negative 12th. In that case, how do I get out of this division? I multiply both sides by 10 to the negative 12th times 10 to the negative 12th, and from there, because these are multiplying, you add. This is really 10 to the negative 2 equals I, and 10 to the negative 2 is answer choice A. So that's good for number 41. Cool. Come over here for me for number 42. Just by looking at the answer choices and the hint, this is a law of sine question. So I need this pair and this pair. So I have sine of, keep in mind this is 60 and 50 adds up to 110. So together that's 110. This must be 70 up there. In which case, sine of 70 over 150 equals sine of 50 over question mark. I don't even have to do the math. What's the answer choice that makes the most sense? I'm really liking 150 sine 50 over sine 70, just making sure it's G. We're flying. Come down here for 43. Which of the following expresses the volume in cubic feet of the new box? Well, it was A by B by C, but then it wants to double the volume. Wow, this is a tricky one. Double the volume. A customer ordered a new box with double the volume of the standard box. So if I want A, B, C, of course, A times B times C equal the original volume, but now I want 2V. Well, what's that going to require? What? Yeah, I think E. A lot of students would probably choose which of the following expression represents volume in cubic feet of the new box? Well, yeah, I mean, if this equaled V, then what equals 2V? Then 2ABC equals that. Good. That's 43, a weird one. Come down here for 44. A lot of text here again. How many pinto beans must be added to the jar in order to make the probability of drawing a kidney exactly 1/5? Well, she puts 4 kidney beans into the empty jar. How many pinto beans? Oh man, I think I actually have to read this. For her mathematics class, is preparing an experiment using only dried kidney beans, dried pinto beans, and an empty jar. Wow. Okay, so it really is that simple. She has 4 kidney beans in the jar, and she wants to have a kidney bean probability of 1/5. Thus, shouldn't she add 16 pinto beans? Again, why? Because 16 plus 4 is 20, and 1/5 has to equal how many kidney beans was in it? Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think I'm going with G. Let's keep going. That was 44. Here's 45. It says, percent question. It looks like if the luxury sedans rent for $45 per day, what is the average daily rental fee to the nearest dollar of all 20 cars at this agency? So they have 20 cars, 4 are luxury sedans, all of the other cars are midsize. Each luxury sedan rents at 1.5, so 1.5x and x. So really they have how many luxury sedans? So 4. So 4 times 1.5x and then they have 16 of normal cars. So really, how many cars do they really have? It's actually 22x, because 4 times 1.5 is 6. 6 plus 16 is 22. Now, I'll just do 22 times 45 and have my answer. If luxury sedans rent at... Oh, wow. Oh, no, I screwed up. What is the average daily rental fee to the near of all 20 cars? Oh, wow. I screwed up a little bit. I'm going to change my math. I thought it was a different question. 45 divided by 1.5. 45 divided by 1.5 is 30. So, okay, so the actual normal cars rent at 30. So that's what I'll do. I'll do 30. Sorry, you can't see that. 30 times 16 cars plus, what is it? 45 times 4, all divided by 20. It's an easier question than I thought. Oopsies. 30 times 16 plus 45 times 4, all divided by 20. In case you want to see my work, this is what I did. 30 times 16 plus 45 times 4 divided by 20. The answer is B. Okay, easy. This one looks crazy. It says, which of the following is an expression for the area in square meters of the polygon? Well, I don't see any polygon. Let's read. A portion of a regular polygon and all interior angles are measured with n of equal measure with n sides is shown below. The midpoint of BC is M, and it wants the area of the polygon. So I guess they want me to connect the dots. Well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like it was originally an octagon or something like that, which I don't know if that matters. But let's take a look at how I would do this. Well, I think I understand that this... Interesting. Which of the following is an expression for an area in square meters of the polygon? Well, it looks like the answer choices really want me to use this central piece, which makes a lot of sense. So what's the area of this thing? Well, it's 1/2, remember, area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So I have base, so I have 1/2 base of BC times MR, which is the height. But that's only one of the triangles. It looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those triangles. So I'd probably multiply this by 4 if I wanted the figure of this. It does, however, say, which of the following is the expression of the whole polygon? Interesting, the whole octagon, or whatever it was. So I think it's n. Really, it's n times 1/2. It's F. Really weird question there. Let's keep going. This is number 47. I'm trying to stay on time. This is, which of the following inequalities gives all and only the possible values of C? Well, okay, A is 5 and B is 7. Interesting. Well, yeah, this is a topic that shows up in geometry all the time. It has to be D. It has to be D because 7 and 5 has to be greater than 12. In other words, this side has to be less than 12, but also C has to be greater than 2 because the difference between them is 5. The difference between them is 2. This is a principle that shows up all the time. I'm happy to explain this. If you have any questions, comment down below. Interesting. This is just F. This is x squared minus I squared, a difference of squares, and I squared is -1, so this is x squared plus 1. This question, it wants an angle or an arc. It wants ACE. ACE. Interesting. This is 60 and this is 70. Well, ACE. Kind of tricky here, but where's the diameter? Diameter AD. Oh, so this is the diameter. So I know that this angle here is 180, and 180 plus this 60 is 240. Done. Here's number 50. It says, which of the following gives the length of AC. Wow, weird. The length of AC. Well, ACD is a right triangle. Is it? Is ACD really a right triangle? Interesting. Okay. So this is 70. Or sorry, if this angle here was 70, this angle here must have been 35. So again, this is 35. Oh, ACD. Oh my gosh, ACD. That's why it didn't look right. ACD. This angle here. This triangle here. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. In that case, if that's ACD going to 70, what is the measure of AC? Well, interesting here. If this is angle 70 here, then this angle here is 35. So if I draw my new triangle, this is 35, this is question mark, and they want this measure. Well, they also tell us that AD is the diameter of 12. Interesting. So this is which trig function? Which trig function relates opposite and hypotenuse? It's going to be sine. Sine of 35 equals question mark over 12. Well, multiplying both sides by 12, I get 12 sine 35. I like J. Cool. Kind of difficult, but let's come down here and take a look at number 50. All right, so the next question we're looking at here is number 51. It looks like we're still on this passage, unfortunately. But what does it say? It says essentially, if you take if you take point E and rotate it counterclockwise, first of all, counterclockwise is this direction. If I took E and I wrapped it around this direction all the way until you hit A, what would happen to the value or the length of CE? Well, let's just try. Watch this. You have this length here. I'll do it in red. And then as you go, it gets a little longer and then it gets shorter. Again, it's not the diameter. So if I were to take this and then go to the diameter, that's going to be the longest point. But then after that, it's definitely going to get shorter as it goes. So for half a second, it gets bigger right here, gets bigger. And then the whole way around here, it gets smaller. Therefore, I'm liking E, increase, then decrease. Yeesh, we don't like those passages. Not fun. Let's come over here for 52. This is an inverse. So inverse, I always call the transgenderism of math. So this is trans. And more than anything, what that means is if I have y equals x cubed, transgenders, a man becomes a woman becomes a man. Same thing in this case. The x becomes the y becomes the x. Cool way to remember that. A little bit politically incorrect, but that's okay. We have x equals y cubed. Now, to get rid of this cube on the y, really to get this y alone, how do we get rid of that cube? We cube root. So we have cube root of x equals y. That's your inverse equation or your transgender equation. Your answer here is F. Let's keep going. 53. What is the largest value of a plus b such that this has a factor of 3? Gross. Given that positive integers a and b such that a and b are 14, what is the largest value of a plus b that has a factor of 3? What is the largest possible value? Well, for this question, I think I'm just going to use answer choices. Really, could it be 24? Could it be 27? Maybe 27 that has a factor. What is the largest value of a plus b that has a factor of 27? Well, could it be 27? Like, they're integers, right? So it has to be less than this. So this is going to be 13. And yeah, 13 and 14 already make 27. It can't be that big. I think it can be D, though. I think this can be 11. 11 plus 13 are smaller than 14. And yeah, they do have a factor of 3. I'm done. Let's try 54. 54 says, at an end of school party for juniors and seniors, there are 20 more juniors than seniors, of which 52 students are at the party. 25% have summer jobs. Which of the following is closest to the maximum possible percent of the seniors at the party who have summer jobs? Wow, that's disgusting. Let's try it again. At an end of school year party for juniors and seniors only, there are 20 more juniors than seniors. Of the 52 students at the party, 25% of them have summer jobs. Which of the following is closest to the maximum possible percent of the seniors at the party who have summer jobs? What is the maximum number? What is the maximum possible percent of the seniors who have summer jobs? That's really weird. 20 more juniors than seniors. So this is 52. There's 20 more juniors than seniors. Which of the following is closest to the maximum possible percent of the seniors who have summer jobs? So 0.25 times 52. That's 13. Well, if I want the maximum possible percent, imagine all 13 of these are seniors that have jobs. So in that case, what's the maximum there? So this is, we could just say that there's 32, actually, wait a second. This would have to be, how many seniors are there if there's 20 more juniors than seniors? So seniors plus 20 plus seniors equals 52. So this is really 32 equals 2s, s equals 16. There are 16 seniors, and how many juniors? 36. That makes a lot of sense. Now, 13 divided to 16, really, if I have 13 over 16, assuming that all of these guys have those jobs, 13 divided by 16 gives me 0.8125. The answer is J. Wow, that is really tricky. But I think we're good. Let's keep going. This is 55. What is the minimum value of 2x minus 3y given that it's in this system? Well, y, the minimum value. So you want to make this as small as possible. So y is equal to 3. X is greater than negative 2, but at the minimum it's equal to negative 2. And x minus y is less than or equal to 5. X minus y is less than or equal to 5. Interesting. So negative 2 minus 3 is less than or equal to 5. Okay, actually that does make sense. Negative 2 minus 3 is less than or equal to 5. That checks out. So I think I'm going to stand with that. From there, this plugged in here and this plugged in here, we have negative 2 times 2 minus 3 times 3, in which case that's negative 4 minus 9. Negative 4 minus 9 is B. Let's keep flying. Let's take a look at 56. This is a question that shows up all the time on the ACT. It says, the ratio of A to B is 5 to 1. The ratio of B to C is 9 to 1. Thus, I really like finding a common factor here. Really, 9 and 5 are 45. So let's use 45 here, I think. So if this is 5 to 1, and this is 9 to 1, BC is 9 to 1. A to B is 5 to 1, and B to C is 9 to 1. So, 45. Let's treat that A is 45. So if A was true, oopsies, you guys can't even see that, my fault. If A is 45, then B must have been 9. And if B is 9, then C is 1. Let's plug that in. We have 2 times 45 plus 3 times 9 all over 4 times 9 plus 3 times 1. My handwriting is, my handwriting is starting to go at this point, but we have 2 times 45 plus 3 times 9 all over 4 times 9 plus 3. The answer is 3. I want to finish in time. This is 56. I'm also explaining a little bit as I go, so I'm using more time than I should. Here's 57. It says, if t is any real number, which of the following statements must be true? Well, must this be true? No. Must this be true? Negative t is less than t, no. Must this be true? No. Must this be true? D looks pretty promising. The absolute value of a number must be greater than negative that value. Well, t could be 0, so I don't know if I like that. Let's try E, like, let's just say this is 3. 3 squared, negative 3 squared is 9, while this is negative 9. So I actually don't like that either. But going back to D, I actually saw something. This is less than or equal to. Less than or equal to. Thus, it could be 0 equals 0. I do like this. It's D. And I kind of use process of elimination there because my first take eliminated all of them, but I like D. It's the best answer. Let's keep going. This is 58, a logarithm question. It does look like they want me to expand this logarithm because they have this and this isolated. So let's start with that. We have log of a squared plus log of b. And better yet, can't I pull this down to the front using the properties of logarithms? I have a video on that in case you need it. It's 2 log a plus log b. In which case, you can understand that log a was 3, so this is 2 times 3 plus log of b, which is 2. 6 plus 2 is 8. G. Let's keep going. Try this one with me. This one is number 59. It says, sorry, it's a little crooked. For this one, it says, which of the following values is a possible value for b if this is the case? Well, square root of a is greater than a. A is smaller, so a is probably a decimal, like 0.5. If that's the case, really remember, what is square root of 0.5? Or better yet, we could even do like 0.9. What's the square root of 0.9? It's 0.3. So that's just a quick little idea. Which of the following values is a possible value for b? Well, I think we have to be in decimal land, so it's definitely fractions. But now a is less than b. Interesting. So I think I like the idea of this being c. This is a possible value because this could be something like, again, 0.9 and 0.3. I'm going with C. Let's keep going. Last question of the day is an exponent question. Good, we like these. Which of these is equivalent to this? Well, I don't really know, but it looks like they're trying to get everything under the radical. Interesting. So this 2 cube rooted at some point was probably an 8. Again, if this 2 was able to escape, at one point it probably was an 8 inside. So that's cube root of 8 times 2. So this is 16x times cube root of x. At which point we're done. It's cube root of 16x squared. It's k. All right, that is it for this ACT. I'm hoping we got a good grade. I haven't graded it yet, but I can kind of guarantee that I got every single question right. So I'll go ahead and grade it, and then I'll confirm in the comments whether I got the perfect score or not. If you had any questions on any of the questions that I did as I went through, please ask